What's up, everybody? Today we're gonna do another review that I need to do it again because I don't have any thumbnails. Hope you guys understand. So today's week killer review of metal album is none other than the pinnacle of Death Rash in the Philippines, in Rizal. Mass Hypnosia's first debut album, attempt to assassinate. So this is a great record, a killer thrash piece in your mouth, in your ears, in shearing, in your whole banging, freaking sick whatsoever. So this album was released in 2010. That I have my first listen was so surprising because I didn't really expect something to bring something to accumulate in the articulation of thrash metal. As we know, thrash was a genre in metal that existed a long time ago, but death thrash somehow in the other way is a genre that shifted through a lot of spectacular creativity. But this band itself is so unique because they are not like other death thrash metal bands that came before them or even came just ahead of the time. Well, Attempt to Assassinate is the most phenomenal, quintessential record that ever produced, ever released in the material of Mass Hypnosia. So this album is one of the at most it was a heavy, sick tone. The drums, the bass, the guitar, the vocals are so heavy as shit out of tons of that. I really get surprised. I'm like, what the hell is this? This is really, really amazing. There was a fire blaze inside of my heart whenever every time I listen to it. Like I ever hear this again, it was so great. It was so fantastic. It was a frantic death thrash that no one could ever compare to. Let me tell you, because you would say there are a lot of death thrash metal bands. You could say Demolition Hammer or Messiah or Idolatry, or let's talk about the Philippine thrash metal. It was so great, man. That Mass Hypnosia is one of the greatest bands of all time. Like you're gonna just really take a look for which one or which should be the band to be in the top tier of thrash in the Philippines. But hey, Mass Hypnosia is my number one band in death thrash. Let me tell you, this band is a blend of some particular Slayer, Crater, and some fills and additional ingredient of Sodom as well. Very static thrash metal bands, very influential to these guys. So that was like really the case. Also, Demolition Hammer, if you want to revive it, they have the feels of Demolition Hammer as well, because that's actually how it was. So this is the content of the album. So let's see inside of the album. So here, this is the inside cover of the album. There are three guys out there. This is a three-piece band, three-piece which trifecta of the death thrash Philippine metal band. And honestly, I just really like the inside cover of it because it's really having the feels of the greatness of this band. These guys are doing. Otherwise, I just don't feel. How could I just really say these guys are so damn good? None other that it was all of the expectations that I received. That it was just good, nothing else. So since I could really just predict it, well, let me take the CD out. So this is the CD. Well, of course, it was a yellow gold standard color, because that's really just a perfect pair for that. Released by Ragnarok Records. That it's an international label. A lot of bands out there are also produced, but these guys were in 2010. They released also their second album to that label. Their sophomore that I did in the last review together with Absent Omen. So you want to check it out, watch the last video that I made. So Mass Hypnosia Attempt to Assassinate is A very classic thrasher piece. If you haven't heard this band, go listen to him, support him all that you can, because it's just really good. It's a punch in the face. It's a death thrash. So, um, first and foremost, it was really one of the biggest influential in the Philippine metal today, especially for those who are fans of the underground metal in the scene of metal here in the Philippines. Okay, so my favorite songs from this album is, of course, Attempt to Assassinate, Tears from the Sky, and Dramatic Violence, because these three are my top tier tracks from the album. The rest is good, the rest is great, but those three are really my favorite tracks from the album. So yeah, that was just a good to introduce you to Death Thrash. If you love Death Thrash, support it. The genre itself is really kind of death vocals with this creativity. But this band is something special. They made it with clarity. They made it with energy, groveling power like that. It's really abhorred. It's really heavy, sick, shit, tons of it. You know, it's just a ferocious theme to introduce to this band. Everyone should like it. Everyone should listen to it because Mass Hypnosia is the band that really deserves recognition and popularity. And of course, guys, now to the ratings. Okay, so for me, honestly, it was ahead of its time since this album came out. I just don't really take that for an easy part because the last time I reviewed the two other albums was also a split of it because there were two of them, Abzed Omen, Brutal Conquer, and Mass Hypnosia sophomore album. Yeah, and then when this one came, I didn't really expect. I was surprised because it sounded more creatively similar to Slayer sound later on because they sounded like that too, or not like Metallica, but yeah, a little bit Metallica toning, but just got it to the different way perspective of their thrash sound effect. So to me, the production wise is good. The production is really great. The songs are well structured, well composed, and also I could say that these guys have to be matured later on with their lyrics and songwriting as well. But yeah, since this is the first album, what would you expect? Thrash metal is so ferocious. It was a devastating genre, right? So it has to be kick ass, you know. So 10 out of 10, because why not? It's really great. It's just a high five to the metal listeners out there who wanted to hear like this. If you love underground thrash metal, go listen to Mass Hypnosia Attempt to Assassinate. I recommend you to check it out because it's really great. With the premiere track, it was good as hell, you know. That was it. So moving on with that, sign off for now. I'll be back soon with some other videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit that notification button, the bell. Yeah, of course. Thank you guys.